get naked! Yeah! Hey guys, so today I thought I would talk about something that I didn't really think about until it happened to me myself. And as you can probably tell from the title, it's something a little bit more serious than what I usually do. But this story actually happened today, not even a few hours ago. And from the beginning, I go to driving school, as most 16-year-old, well, 15-year-olds do, but I'm a little bit late on that one. And the driving school is in a pretty sketchy area, which has always freaked me out, but I didn't really think much of it. So today I was getting out of driver's ed, and my mom ended up being late because she had slept and she overslept. And so I was just sitting there, I was on my phone, texting one of my friends, seeing when my mom was going to be there, and so I was just, enjoying teenage life. So I look over, and I see, a guy that was old enough to be my grandpa, and he was, waving at me and winking at me. I was like, okay, well, this is pretty weird. But he walked away after that. He walked completely across the parking lot away from me. So I wasn't concerned about it. But I did call my mom, and I told her that this man was waving and winking at me, but she was going to be there soon. So I was like, okay. And in the parking lot, my driver's ed teacher and two other students got into the car, and they were going to do a drive, and they hadn't left yet, and I'm not exactly sure why still. I don't know if it was because I was still there waiting for my mom, or maybe they just weren't ready to go, and they were talking over some stuff. So, I'm just sitting there playing some Mortal Kombat waiting for my mom to come, and a guy walks up the stairs to where I was sitting, and he says, "Hey, I bought this lollipop, and my friend can't eat sweets, but I bought it for him. Do you want it?" And at that moment, I was like, this sounds like just the basic pedophile right there. Do you want candy, little girl? So I was like, oh, no, thank you, because he was using manners, and I didn't want to be rude, because that's just who I am. And he was just like, oh, well, what do you do in this driving school? What is this school for? And I was like, oh, it's just you learn to drive and you get your license. And he was like, oh, that's cool. And he just tried to have a conversation with me. And so as I was sitting there, my teacher starts watching what is happening. And I was clearly in distress. I was like, I don't know what to say to this guy. He offered me candy. Should I run? Should I just be like, F off? What do I do? And so my teacher rolls down the window, because they were still sitting there, and was like, hey, Ciara, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. This guy's standing here, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know. And so he looks at her, and she's like, looks at him and says, do not talk to my kids. Do not talk to my students. Do not offer them anything. And he says, oh, I was just wondering about the school and what the school's about. So my teacher says, no, you do not ask our students about the school. You need to leave before I call the cops. And so the guy's leaving, and he says something. And she's like, I'm going to call the cops on you. And he said, I know you effing will. And he just kept walking. And at that moment, I was like, thank God he's gone. I don't know what would have happened if my teacher wasn't there. But he went up to the guy that was waving and winking at me earlier and, patted him, bro, we got to get out of here. The cops are coming. And so my teacher was like, hey, Ciara, are you okay? Did he bother you? What happened? And I was like, yeah, he just came up to me, offered me a lollipop. I was scared. Are you gonna ask me to go in your van next? But I wouldn't have, by the way. But, so, my teacher called the cops and started, telling the cops everything that was happening. And then, right when she was, getting to the part with the lollipop, my mom showed up, and my mom and my sister showed up, and my mom was like, okay, where'd he go? And I was like, well, there's more than just the old guy now, because I only told her about the guy that was waving and winking at me. So I was like, oh yeah, blah, 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 here's the story, this is what happened. She was like, we're gonna go get that guy. But he was gone by the time my mom got there, and that was the last thing that happened. So, I don't know, my teacher continued on the conversation with the cops, with the two students in the car that saw everything, along with herself, and me, of course. And, so I don't know what's gonna happen next, exactly. Because the driving school has all my contacts and stuff. I don't know if the police are gonna come to my house and ask me questions. But I don't know. I don't think they'll be able to find the guy. We couldn't find the guy. My mom drove around seeing if I would recognize him and seeing if we could find him, but he was just gone. I don't know. He probably went to a business around there. But, so I think the moral of this story is never accept the candy from the creepy, scrawny guy. Don't accept candy from anyone you don't know, because you don't know what they did to that candy. You don't know what the next step is. You don't know what they're gonna do with you. And you should always either fake a phone call, because if you fake a phone call, they'll think, oh, well, they'll tell this person, and that person will tell the cops. Or you make sure you're around an adult that you know and that you trust, and that you know will protect you. Because I don't know what would have happened if she wasn't there. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten in anybody's van, of course. But if he were to pull a knife on me or a gun, then I wouldn't be here talking. So, I'm just really thankful that that's all that happened. So, yeah. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.